Back in the early days of social media, somebody became a god overnight. And not with money, not with fame, but with just a few lines of code. It's a story that started with a simple wish for more friends, and it ended with the global shutdown of what was then the world's biggest social network. This is the story of the first great digital pandemic. Let's start the explainer.
Okay, so picture this. The year is 2005. The place? MySpace. A programmer named Samy Kamkar unleashes a tiny bit of code that's going to make him an absolute legend. In less than a day, he gets over 1 million friends, a number so huge, so staggering, it literally broke the internet's biggest playground.
So on October 4th, 2005, Samy just puts his script onto his own MySpace profile. And here's the brilliant part. Anybody who visited his page automatically sent him a friend request. But it gets better. Their profile was also updated to say, "Samy is my hero," and the real kicker, the script copied itself onto their profile too. So when their friends visited their page, the chain reaction just get going. In only 20 hours, this digital virus infected over 1 million people, and MySpace's servers just went into a complete meltdown.
What Samy did wasn't just some prank. It was a landmark event. It was the world's first massive, viral demonstration of a vulnerability we call cross-site scripting, or XSS for short. It proved how a website you trust could be flipped, turned into a weapon against its own users. So, let's dive into what that actually means.
The Samy worm really is our perfect case study. It's this incredibly dramatic opening scene that reveals a much deeper, much darker story about the blind trust we put in the websites we visit every single day.
To really get the power and, honestly, the terror of XSS, we need an analogy. And I can't think of one better than from the legendary anime Death Note. So just imagine a cursed notebook that can control anyone's actions just by writing their name inside. Yeah, that notebook is the key to understanding everything we're about to explore. And check out how perfectly this maps out. In the anime, the notebook is the weapon, right? Well, in our world, a vulnerable website, when you trust, like your bank or your social media, that becomes the cursed notebook. The hacker doesn't need to write a name, they write malicious code, a script. And the victim isn't a person exactly. It's your web browser, which is suddenly forced to execute the hacker's commands completely against your will. So here's the most important thing to get. Cross-site scripting is an attack that turns a website against its own visitors. This isn't like those hacks where they go after a company's database to steal info from the inside. No, XSS attacks the people using the website. The website becomes a traitor, serving up malicious code right alongside the cute cat videos you came to see. All right, so now that we know what XSS is, how does it actually happen? A hacker can't just, walk up and hand you the cursed code. They've got to be clever. And their methods really fall into two main categories, which I like to think of as setting a trap versus planting a landmine.
So how does the attacker actually deliver this curse to the victim? Well, the first method is personal, it's direct, and it requires you to make one little mistake.
This is the trap. In the biz, we call it reflected XSS. An attacker cooks up this special poisoned link and sends it to you in an email or a message. It might look totally legit, pointing to a real website, maybe your bank. But when you click it, that malicious script gets sent to the bank's server, which then, without thinking, reflects it right back into your browser. It's basically a digital letter bomb. It only hurts the specific person who's tricked into opening it.
But the second method, this one is way more sinister. This is the landmine. It's not a targeted trap for just one person. It's a permanent threat, just left there, waiting for anyone and everyone to stumble upon it. The curse becomes a permanent feature of the website itself.
And this is where it gets really scary. An attacker leaves a comment on a blog or a product review or a forum post, and inside that comment is their malicious script. The website, not knowing any better, saves that comment to its database, and from that second on, every single person who views that page automatically runs the hacker's code. No clicks, no tricks, no suspicion needed. You just have to visit the page. This is stored XSS. This is how the Samy worm worked. This is how a digital curse goes viral.
So at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, a script runs in my browser. So what? What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is that once a hacker can run code in your browser, on a website you're logged into, they're not just a visitor anymore. They start to become you.
You'll often see security researchers prove an XSS bug by making a simple little alert box pop up. And it seems harmless, right? But that little box isn't the attack. It's a flag being planted on conquered territory. It's the hacker basically announcing, I was here, and if I can do this, I can do anything.
And by anything, they usually mean one thing above all else: stealing your session cookie. A cookie is just a small file your browser uses to keep you logged into a site. It's like your digital passport for that session. If an attacker steals that cookie using XSS, they don't need your username, they don't need your password. They can just show your cookie to the website, and the website welcomes them right in, thinking they're you. It is the purest form of online identity theft.
But just stealing your session? That's just the beginning. The modern evolution of XSS is so much more terrifying. We're moving beyond simple theft and into the realm of total control. Welcome to the world of the zombie browser.
So, to manage all their victims, hackers use these incredibly powerful tools. And the most famous one is called Beef. That's the Browser Exploitation Framework. Just think of it like a control panel for every single browser that has stumbled onto one of their digital landmines. Once your browser is hooked by Beef, it becomes a puppet. The attacker, sitting at their dashboard, can see everything you see. They can silently turn on your webcam and your microphone. They can make a fake login box for your bank pop up that looks totally real because it's coming from the real bank's website. They can redirect you. They can log what you type. They can explore your home network. Your browser is no longer yours. It's a zombie, and it's serving a new master.
Okay, after all of that, the situation might seem a little hopeless. You can't trust links, and now you can't even trust the pages themselves. But like any good curse, this one has a weakness. There is a way to break the spell.
The solution, at its core, is actually pretty simple. This whole problem exists because websites blindly trust the information users give them, in comments or search queries. So the fix is to just stop trusting. Websites have to sanitize all user input, treating every single letter as potentially hostile, and stripping out anything that looks like code before they ever save it or show it to anyone else.
And that is the ultimate takeaway for anyone building anything on the web. It's a fundamental rule of digital survival. You either clean the data coming into your house, or you let your guests become victims of the traps that have been left inside. There really is no middle ground.
Excess is just one weapon, but what happens when we open the entire toolbox? In our next explainer, we're doing just that. We're going to explore all the other essential tools that every hacker, both ethical and malicious, has ready to go.
But we also want to know what tech mystery or hidden reality scares you. We are ready to explore the unknown. So tell us in the comments what mystery we should uncover next. No options, no limits. You decide.
We'll see you in the next explainer.